good tea.
All right, welcome back to We Fucking Love TV. This is season 4.
Season 4.
And Nick wants to talk about Dexter.
Oh, do I? I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay.
The Monty Python ending to Dexter.
That's... Josh, you're the hugest Dexter fan of all. I think you should talk about Dexter.
And here goes my credibility.
You've been with it since the beginning.
Yeah.
You loved it.
There goes my credibility.
Let's explain, because, I mean, maybe you saw something in it I didn't.
No, I saw everything that everybody else saw.
You just loved it, though?
Yeah.
The best part of it for me, I do want to talk about the positives of the final episode, for me, is Quincy MD and Batista. They were watching that video. They knew Dexter killed that guy. Which was the best part, where he was like, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to stab you with that pen or whatever. That was pretty cool. But they obviously knew he killed him. They were like, self-defense. They were just like, okay.
Let him get away
They
with
knew
it.
at that moment, just cold blood, killed this guy. But they wanted him dead too.
Yep.
So they just didn't even give a shit. And it was a really neat ending for those two characters, because right then, whether they'd ever suspected anything about him or not, and we know Quinn had, but not Batista so much. But they knew at the end that he was a killer. That may have been the only person they ever killed in their mind, but they knew at the end. Everything else, the hurricane, while the water's still as can be, and the stealing of the...
Hurricane Laura? Wasn't it Dexter's mom's name too?
And the stealing of the body. It was kind of neat, because somebody said something, and I didn't remember because I haven't really rewatched any of the old episodes, but something about when Dexter was born into blood, wasn't it chainsaw oriented, and then he went back to, went to being a lumberjack at the end, like full circle. Was that true? I don't know. I haven't seen episode 1 in so long, or whatever episode that would be.
I think that's sort of a stretch, but yeah, I mean, okay.
Well, you were saying, though, about the two people that realized that he was a killer, but he killed somebody. They
killed his sister.
Well, you said that the person that they saw Dexter kill, that they wanted dead anyway. They knew that person was a bad person. Shows do things like that a lot, where they give you characters that represent the fan of the show. And the people that were watching it and really loved Dexter Morgan as a person, their defense of him was, yeah, he's killing people, but he's killing people that deserve to die anyway. So if that was those two characters' take on what he was doing, they could have represented the fan base of the show too.
I kind of think the writers had the last kill because they killed the show. I have not read that anywhere. That was my original thought. I just didn't know that 80 million other people probably thought the same thing.
The original
80 million
writer of the show gave his own idea for the ending, the way the series should have ended, and I've shown that to a few different people that watched Dexter and liked it as much as Josh liked it, and they all loved the original writer's idea for the
it was all right.
Finale. Better.
Here's what should have happened: like when Deb told Dexter that she was in love with him, they should have just had crazy ass sex, and then at the end he was like, "This is what I needed. This is what I needed." To screw my sister, and it just went into some crazy territory.
That's all anybody ever really needs.
Meets Return of the Jedi nonsense, and it would have been.
I think that's why I'm messed up. I don't even have a sister to talk about having sex with. I think that's why I'm so messed up.
Mark that on your bingo.
Star Wars reference. Got one.
So it appears that since I never watched Dexter, that the two people here that did watch Dexter are perfectly split on the finale of Dexter.
No, I don't think it's split.
It was kind of funny.
I think I'd like the show a lot more than other people did for some reason.
Well, that's what I'm saying, that you were more okay with the finale than Nick, so you all are disagreeing on how the finale went.
I've kind of half watched the show for the last 2 years anyway.
But still, people that have loved it as much as I have are still pissed off.
Yeah, but I mean, there's two ways to do a great ending. There's the Dexter, and then there's the Breaking Bad way.
That's what I was going to say. And now a show that we all love, meaning us and the other 4 people that listen to us talk. Mm-hmm. What about the Breaking Bad finale? If there was a part that could have been done better in the finale alone, not leading up to it or anything, but in the final episode, if anything could have been done differently, would you change anything?
There's nothing. I wouldn't have changed a moment of it.
It was predictable as fuck.
Really? You thought it was predictable?
It was. He dies. We all know that.
Well, yeah, of course.
Well, obviously it's head there. It's from the first episode when he was diagnosed with cancer. I mean, he's going to die just which way he did.
I like that they didn't leave anything really important opened at the end.
Except for Huel still staring at the wall.
Yeah. Huel is still staring at a wall somewhere. I want to know when they're going to be back.
Huel's got like a total of 16 minutes of screen time in the whole series. I'm not too worried about what he's doing.
But
like Josh had an idea where they open up Better Call Saul with Huel getting up off the couch.
yeah, where the show begins, you're introduced to the Huel character in the Better Call Saul show by Huel still sitting there in the room. You know, it comes up on the screen. It shows him sitting there, and then he just decides, oh, fuck it, I'm going to go and get up anyway. And he gets up and walks out of the room, and then it says, you know, like 9 years earlier, or however far back it goes.
That's pretty good. I like it.
And then I also think the Better Call Saul show, no matter how the show goes, no matter how long it's around, it has to end with Walt walking into Saul's office for the first time.
But for my money, even though the finale was spectacular, you know, you had to have all the episodes leading up to it to make it as good as it was. But there's no better episodes than like 4 or 5 before it ended. When like
Granite State was a great episode.
Yeah.
What's
The
happening in
one
that
where
one?
he ends up getting up
The last
from the
one before
bar.
finale.
Oh yeah, that one's good.
Yeah.
All of it is good, but the ones where I was just when they were when he was driving his car out there and trying to get to his money, and Hank and Jesse had tricked him,
Yes.
and all that.
That's one of the
that
best scenes.
entire episode, I was at the edge of the couch, and that jet plane from season 3 or whatever could have landed in the fucking front yard, and I wouldn't have even known it. I was there in that desert, and I mean that was great. When that ended, I was like, I don't think I've ever. Now, granted, I'd have to compare it to another episode of Breaking Bad, but I was like, I don't think I've ever seen a better episode of anything ever. But then I thought the train heist was pretty amazing. I don't think there's been a better hour of TV ever from anything than that. And that's self-contained, too. Like, you don't really have to know much about the characters
to get into that episode.
what the story's been or what the story after to love that episode.
And
that
Dead
is
Freight,
amazing.
from the day Dead Freight aired until I think it was the Granite State episode, the one before the finale, fans had been demanding an episode as good as Dead Freight. And then when Granite State came out, they're like, finally we have one that might be. And I mean, it's not like Dead Freight was season 2 and people have been waiting 3 or 4 years for an equally good episode, but Dead Freight, from the day it aired, was the episode of Breaking Bad as far as most people were concerned. Like, if I want to show anybody one episode, it's that one. Oh, the episode that you were referring to where Walt is admitting
on the phone.
Yeah, where he's admitting everything he did. That episode ends with the gunfight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, those two together are perfect.
There's only one thing about the next episode that bothers me, though. When you come back from all of that, it ends at the gunfight, and then the next episode starts, and we're back at the gunfight. Gomez is already dead. I thought it was
I thought it was a good way to do it.
Me too, but I thought Gomez was good enough, and you like him enough that an on-screen death would have been nice for him. But a little small thing about that,
when he came out facing all that gunfire with the shotgun. I mean,
you knew
he was done. I mean,
he was done.
There was not one part of me that thought, okay, well, next week Gomez is going to be just fine.
Well, I know he was dead too. Knew that he was going to die too. But I loved Gomez, and I would have loved to have seen.
And
him.
how about like Dean Norris? His eyes. It's almost like he turns into a Sith. Another bingo. And like his eyes are so red when he's looking at Walt with that hate. Like
that whole final season,
and
Dean Norris
and
was amazing.
in the garage. Mm-hmm. Oh Jesus!
The scene in the diner with Skyler. Dean
What
Norris killed it this season.
You know what I would have liked? It's not something I was missing, but I was like, like when he was staying in that little cabin and
waiting for Dexter to show
New Hampshire, wherever it was.
Firewood.
Wouldn't it have been great if you'd saw him asleep in the chair? And like the menu for Mr. Mogorium's Water Emporium was on, like he had been watching it again, and it was just sitting there like the DVD menu.
Like as he walks out to leave for the last time, it's the credits rolling.
And you're like, how many times did he watch this? Because there were 2 copies. I mean,
on 2 different TVs at the same time.
Did you notice in the episode Hank gets shot and killed, and Walt's left with the one barrel, and he's pushing it through the desert? Did you notice that he rolls the barrel past the pair of pants he was wearing in the original episode?
And we did
flew
something.
Off the side of the...
We did something I've never done with another show. Which when the last 8 episodes started, we just started back at 1, and in between Sunday, we were just rewatching it all, and we just caught so many things. Mm-hmm. And of course, you've watched it recently, the whole thing, so you probably caught a lot of those same things.
I've watched the first 4 seasons. I watched in about a month and a half, and then when the first half of season 5 came to Netflix, it came to Netflix exactly a week before season 5, and I was like, "Oh, cool! I can watch an episode a day, then have a break, and then watch the season premiere." And I watched all 8 episodes in 2 days.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you have to.
Season 5.1 is the best thing I've ever seen.
I think they're doing it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the final season.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
6.
I think Vince Gilligan on Talking Bad even kind of referred to it as season 5.
Have you seen the
1 and 2?
Have you seen the Blu-ray box set?
The Barrel?
Yeah.
That's the entire series, too. I thought it was just season 5. That's the entire
the whole thing.
You get a Los Pollos Hermanos apron. I want that. Oh, this, though, since we're talking about Breaking Bad, I'm glad we're doing this because I've got a really great idea.
This podcast episode is brought to you by...
Hey kids, try Rickety Tick Mints for long-lasting fresh breath.
Mom, my breath is fresh as fuck.
Not only do they freshen your breath, they make kids cuss like a confused sailor.
Mom, I shoot earwax out of my asshole.
That's nice, dear. Rickety Tick Mints, from the makers of Global Warming Sex Lube.
A new segment, if you will, called Ginger Reenactment. And since we all love Breaking Bad so much, and you guys love me so much, I thought you guys would love it if I did a reenactment from Breaking Bad. So if y'all don't mind, I'd like to go ahead and give that a try. And if y'all like it, it can be my new thing for the show this season.
The following is a Ginger reenactment.
Who are you talking to right now? Huh? Who is it you think you see? Do you know how much I make a year? I mean, even if I told you, you wouldn't believe it. Do you know what would happen if I suddenly decided to stop going into work? A business big enough that it could be listed on the NASDAQ goes belly up. Disappears. It ceases to exist without me. Now you clearly don't know who you're talking to, so let me clue you in. I am not in danger, Skylar. I am the danger. A guy opens his door and gets shot and you think that of me? No. I am the one who knocks. End scene, gentlemen.
Yep, we're never doing that again.
That was my Walter White impression.
Just give it up.
Really good.
Fine, I'll think of something to do next week. No more of that, I guess, since Josh hated it so much. Mr. Negativity.
Mad Men final season will split in 2, just like Breaking Bad did.
Are they going to have
The
Talking
Walking
Bad?
Dead does every year.
Yeah.
I thought they were changing that
For
this year.
the last season is what I mean. Yeah.
It's a good thing to keep the heat on stuff. You know?
The only thing I like about splitting seasons up like that is it basically gives you 2 season finales. Doesn't all have to build up to one big moment at the very end. You can have 2 massive storylines in one season.
I had a really good tweet or Facebook update, or it does the same thing, about the Emmys, where I said the Emmys, where broadcast TV stars get dressed up to give awards to the real talent cable TV stars, because that's how it happened all night long. It was
Pretty much.
It was all. I mean, what broadcast won anything besides Big Bang Theory?
Do you want to talk Emmys?
Dude, that could be the next episode.
The next episode.
Do you think we got enough
So
for the
just
first episode?
chill to the next
Think we got
episode.
enough for the first episode already?
Oh, yeah.
You got to use your wrap it up line.
Oh, yeah, here's my wrap it up line. Come on our website, wefuckinglovetv.com, facebook.com/wefuckinglovetv, and we'll see you next week.
Wait. wefuckinglovetv.bandcamp.com. You can get our first album of the podcast, which is a lot of our commercials and
For
a couple
free.
of sketches. It's free, or you can pay if you want to.
I was totally guessing.
It is, it's called Brought to You by Greatest Bits Volume 1. So it's about 45 minutes of pure ecstasy. So enjoy that if you can.
And also
Bandcamp.com.
11 minutes of torture. But 45 minutes of it are pure ecstasy.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you next week, fuckers.